Okay, I'm sure most of us are familiar with the cell phone laws that have just recently been put in place as far as not driving without a hands-free device. Kids under 18 are supposed to drive with or without hands-free devices and cell phones, and texting while you're driving is not a good idea. My claim today is that driving while operating a cell phone, even while using a hands-free device, isn't worth the risk of the potential distraction that causes a lot of the accidents today. I'd first like to share an example given to us by Matt Ritchell. It was on NewYorkTimes.com. It's about a young man named Christopher Hill. When he was 15 years old, he got his first cell phone. When he was 16, he got his first car. It's his Ford Ranger. He loved it. He watched it like every week, it said. When he was about 20 years old, he had a good reputation in the community. He was good in his school. He was a diligent student. He was really considerate of others. He was just popular with his neighbors. He sees this dresser outside of a Goodwill store, or inside of a Goodwill store, and he calls his neighbor up on his cell phone while he's driving to let him know, or to let her know about the dresser. Well, what happened is that he came to an intersection, didn't notice that the light had turned red for him, and he ended up hitting a small SUV and killing a woman by the name of, I think her name was Linda. He ended up, this good student with a clean driving record ended up, because of the distraction of the cell phone, taking the life of a woman that was simply driving her car, driving home, and that's pretty powerful, I think. Like I said, he had a clean record. Everyone was pretty much proud of him. I'd like to share some numbers collected by Nationwide Insurance, some statistics, distraction from cell phone use while driving, handheld or hands-free, extends a driver's reaction as much as having a blood alcohol concentration at the legal limit of 0.08%. This is found by University of Utah. The number one source of driver inattention is use of wireless devices. That was Virginia Tech. Drivers that use cell phones are 4 times as likely to get into crashes serious enough to injure themselves. And driving while distracted is a factor in 25% of police-reported crashes. Driving while using a cell phone reduced the amount of brain activity associated with driving by 37%. To wrap it up, David E. Meyer, a professional in psychology at the University of Michigan, and we know psychology is the study of the behaviors and thinking processes of the human brain. He says there is zero doubt that one's driving ability is impaired when one is trying to have a cell phone conversation, whether hands-free or handheld. It doesn't matter. So, in conclusion, I'd just like to invite us to reevaluate the costs and benefits of being able to use a cell phone while we're driving compared to the chance, like I said, it's an obviously increasing of our getting into an accident and perhaps, hopefully not, but taking somebody's life. I recently had an experience where I was distracted and ended up getting in a car wreck. And that's kind of what brought me to this topic. So, thank you.
I'm not going to learn how to because I put on my own button.